And a Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters. Yes. One word I want you to remember from my talk today is why. If there's nothing else you remember the word why. The talk I'm doing today is based on a TED Talk by Simon Sinek called How Leaders Inspire. And some of you may have seen this before. And actually it really inspired me. Really interesting talk. It's about 20 minutes. I can't cover everything he did, but I want to give you some of the things that really hit on me, some of the things that I've really taken to heart. And some people have found this, I think, a life-changing. And it's all about how leaders inspire. And there's lots of leaders. I mean, we have many leaders in this building. Some of them are great, some of them are not so great. And what's the difference? What makes a leader inspiring and another leader not so inspiring? I think it does come down to why. That's at the heart of it all. What is it? What's the cause of you? What's your belief? Why do you get out of bed in the morning? And that's the why. Why do you do what you do? And I think a lot of times you'll ask someone, hey, why did you get into that career? Why do you get up? And a lot of people say, well, I have to pay the bills. I need money. But that's really not a why. Money is really a result. When you actually have a why and a purpose, then the money will follow. Simon came up with a really great thing called the Golden Circle. And I see Mark's familiar with this. And at the heart of it is the why. And then the next one is the how. And then there is the what. The golden circle. Very simple concept. And this circle really reflects how we communicate. How you can communicate ideas, even like when a company has a product. This is really a way they communicate. And a lot of ads will start with the what. So let's say we're Mercedes, we make great precision engineered cars. These are the great cars. And how do we do it? Well, we have all these great German engineers who work on it. We have all the best people, we have the best equipment. A lot of times they're not so much on the why. And that's something I think that's a failure. A different example, which I think is a more successful example of a company communicating from the outside in, is why do we do this? Why? And Apple starts with this core idea, we challenge the status quo. And we always will do that. And we're different, we think differently, and because of that, we will design things, so that's the why. We're different, we want to make things different, we want to make things simple. So then the how is, we will design beautiful things that are very easy to use, and then the what is, we'd like you to buy our computer. Whereas a lot of other things are telling you a lot of details. So the outer part is more the logical, the what. I mean, I can rattle off lots of stats about a computer, and that's what a lot of companies do. But Apple starts out with a very simple why concept. We're different, we challenge the status quo, simple, elegant, very simple ideas. Something that's kind of hits you in the gut. Whereas others go more for the analytical, the what. I think what Simon found is that people generally follow what they believe in. You ever hear that? I have a gut instinct. Sometimes you're out, maybe you're buying a car or a house, and maybe you can't even really define the details of why it's different, but somehow you just know. And Simon studied actually the brain, how the brain works, and there's the neocortex, which is our logical part, but then in our core there's that limbic. We feel I'm in love with the person. This car is the one, I just have to have this house. walk in and I just feel like this is home. And that's how we make a lot of our decisions. So that concept is you want to communicate with that inner part of you, which isn't necessarily a simple rational where you can just rattle off facts. It's really connecting with someone. And in terms of leadership, the way of doing this is conveying what your core beliefs are. Like Martin Luther King was one of many, many different people at the time who were civil rights leaders. What was different about him? Well, he had a dream. I have a dream. I believe. He created this imagery where others were saying, hey, we have a plan, we're going to try to change the law. He had very elegant, simple belief. And other people felt that belief, and it reflected in them. And they said, we share that belief, and we will do whatever it takes to make his dream a reality. And that's what leaders can do. Instead of just saying, do this, and our profit margins will go up by so much. Get people to believe in what you're doing. In my job, we're changing our culture, and we're a very statistical, scientific thing. We've changed our culture to more, what's our core thing? Not giving statistical weather information, but getting people to understand what we're saying and to save lives. And that's the core thing is we want to save lives and property, alert people to hazards. Start from that and then go out. Don't worry about the computers and the statistics. That are things you can develop. So start with a core belief, because as he said, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. So think about this in your own life. What are your core beliefs? Why do you do what you do? And I think if you can explain that to others, you will find people will follow you and support you with blood, sweat, and tears. Not just because you're giving a paycheck, but because they share your belief and they will fight for it as well. Madam Toastmaster.